Today I'm going to be playing a Patreon deck from Tipro, and this is going to be a token Demon Hunter deck. So we are taking advantage of like expendable performers and coordinated strike, and we have some synergies with like Wrathscale Naga, Knife Juggler, Feast of Souls, all that good stuff. But compared to other token Demon Hunters I've seen, this one seems like it has a lot of top end between two Blood Herald, Sea Giants, and Nethrandamus. We've even got a copy of Zai the Incredible for some more top end if we really want it. So that seems like it could be fun.
Your power is no substitute for true strength.
I will prove myself to you.
Let's keep Blood Herald. Fuck it, let's keep Zai too. We'll copy Blood Herald with it. 1-2 curve as well. This hand is the nuts. How can I ever be beat? Maybe I shouldn't have even kept Armor Vendor against Priest, but whatever.
Blessings to you. Break it, you buy it.
Evil draws close.
Maybe I can use my Zai to copy 2 Blood Heralds. That would be pretty sick. Also pretty good with Zai.
Break it, you buy it.
Could copy a Wrathscale Naga with my Zai. I don't really care that much about the Naga, but I do care about the 5-3 being in play. And besides, triple Blood Herald was probably enough to win the game, right? That's really annoying. Why did they nerf Knife Juggler? Alright, we got some 5-mana 2/2s. Those are probably not the best.
Break it, you buy it.
Do I play a Wrathscale Naga? Sure? I don't know. I mean, even if it dies, it does help with, like, Blood Herald and Fell Guardians. I was not even corrupted. Pathetic.
Break it, you buy it.
Go get him, Fell Guardians. If my board gets wiped here, these Blood Heralds start to at least be playable as 7/7s. I kind of need the Armor Vendor to die too, though. Moonfang Priest. What the heck? Well, that card's good against Moonfang. Yeah, let's draw 3 here. Might have to dump the Broomstick. No, I don't have to. I'll have 9 cards in hand. And Umberwing is better anyway.
You buy it.
Alright, this is starting to look a little bit better for me. Oh, skull. This does look like a Skull of Gul'dan turn.
Alas, poor warlock.
I do need one of these cards to be playable. Alright, so we're dumping either a Broomstick or a Wrathscale Naga. Probably Broomstick against this priest.
Vengeance is mine.
Pretty good set of discounts I got off the Skull. Not sure how easy it is to even use Wrathscale Naga in this matchup, though. I don't even really know what my opponent is. Maybe just Highlander? Pretty surprised that I hadn't seen any minions before Moonfang. Oh, not Highlander. Res Priest, I guess? And Moonfang is a good res target? Well, Expendable Performers pretty much never resets here, unless I miss, like, a lot of juggles. Netherendalmus is big. I guess I can just go, like, Blood Herald and then Performers, and then the Performers will reset. 13/13 Blood Herald is, like, probably just gonna die to Shadow Word Death anyway. What if I go like Performers, trade one off, then just play Sea Giant? I ran out of brain power. Oh shit, I probably should have played Feast of Souls at some point this turn, but I think it's too late now. Could have drawn 2 with Feast of Souls. Kind of an underwhelming Feast of Souls, honestly, but I don't know when I would be doing better.
What is Elun's will?
Moonfang and Waterbearer. That's okay with me. Okay. Okay, the Wave of Apathy makes some sense. So each of these, the smaller Moonfang has 8 health. 8 health isn't that much. What if I could just kill it? I don't know, the Wrathscale Nagas are pretty terrible here. I once again should have played Feast of Souls this turn, but lost track of things. That's okay though, I'm definitely threatening lethal here. And if my opponent, my opponent can't play Plague of Death, right? So that's fine. Shadow Word Death is still playable though. But my 13/13 is still slightly out of range of these. Okay. That was unfortunate. Suddenly, I'm not that happy with my position in this game. Should have had 2 more cards in hand, I guess. Well, it's not like I'm gonna die here.
Demons? Demons.
See what this does for me, I guess. This could actually be really good here to protect my Blood Herald.
We'll just have a little peek.
I don't care about either of these cards. If my opponent plays Sandhoof Waterbearer, I mean, they're already at 30. They're just dead.
Short, I
I guess Blood of Gahoon is the higher variance card, so we'll just get rid of it.
Vengeance is mine.
So yeah, my opponent full heals, I have 26, 27, 30. And then I have like other ways I can pick up damage, but I shouldn't need them. I'm gonna be really upset if the card my opponent drew this turn is Shadow Word Death. I guess Hysteria would also kill my guy,
Is Elun's will.
but Hysteria wouldn't be as bad. It'd still be pretty bad since this one has Death Rattle. Lethal. Interesting trade.
Hide behind you, servants. I will steal you my
Alright, so I started out 4-2 with this deck, so good job, good deck. But I think there are a few changes that we could make to it. First of all, this armor vendor slot. I actually didn't hate the armor vendor, and I think it probably would have been pretty reasonable if I was playing against more like rogues and hunters. But I wasn't, so I think I want my 1-drop in Demon Hunter to be Battle Fiend probably. It's just like way more pressure in the early game. And I think that's pretty good. I think if you want like an anti-aggro thing for this deck, it seems like I-Beam is probably just going to be the better card, I would imagine. So without the armor vendors, like maybe we can play an I-Beam. Another card that we're not playing that seems like it could be pretty good is Twin Slice. The power level of this card is just like ridiculously high, but I don't actually know if we have room to play it. And we're not really going face with weapons like all the time for all of our damage, so like maybe Twin Slice doesn't quite make the cut. Another card I'm considering is Command the Illidari. At first I thought that this card was probably just made a bit redundant by expendable performers, but I had a lot of situations where my token payoff cards were just kind of stranded in my hand, so I think another big token thing like this could be pretty good. And then there is Parade Leader, a card that actually Tipro recommended but said they hadn't tried out yet. And yeah, I think Parade Leader is probably just good in this deck. We've got two coordinated strike, 2 expendable performers. We've got a broomstick. I think we're probably going to have a Command the Illidari. It just seems like Parade Leader is a pretty good choice. And then the final card that I'm considering playing in this deck is Cycle of Hatred. It's just a way to like take advantage of your token boards. Turning your 1/1s into 3/3s is pretty nice. But also if you happen to hit your opponent's stuff, like I played against a Galakron Warlock, this would have been really good in that matchup. So yeah, it seems like just kind of a nice payoff card for your tokens. I do think Cycle of Hatred probably goes in the same slot as Sea Giant, and I'm not sure which of the two is better. I definitely had some games where the Sea Giant felt really terrible and was just clogging up my hand. But, I mean, Cycle of Hatred is going to clog the hand a bit as well. And I also had a game where Sea Giant basically hard carried. So, not totally sure whether I like this slot or not. I'll probably leave it as Sea Giant for now. But as for the other cards I mentioned, I think we can find some deck slots for those. This Insatiable Fellhound was described as a flex slot. It didn't seem very impressive to me, so we'll go ahead and cut it. Another card I think we can cut is Zai the Incredible. It is a pretty cool card, but I don't really think we need the value between Blood Herald, Nethrandamus, Sea Giant, expendable performers. I think we probably just don't really need Zai. So that gives us 2 deck slots. Let's go ahead and put those Parade Leaders in. And then I think another card I wasn't super in love with was Illidari Studies. Definitely a strong card, but I think I would rather this slot be one Command the Illidari and maybe an I-Beam. Not totally sure if the I-Beam is necessary. Could be another Command the Illidari, but that seems like maybe too much token stuff. But yeah, I think I like the way this list is looking. For any further changes, I honestly feel like the animated broomsticks are probably pretty cuttable. But they are cool with Big Blood Heralds. They make sense with Sea Giant and Netherandamus, so we'll keep them in for now. And we'll go ahead and play this list, see how things go. Wow, that's a Paladin skin, huh?
We'll decide this. This ends now.
I'm somewhat tempted to just keep all of this. I don't know about Skull though, but it's like Fel Guardians is going to be cheap, so the Skull's pretty easy to outcast. Let's just full keep. I do have some work to do drawing with this hand, but it's pretty good right now. Haven't played against Paladin yet.
I cannot wait to read these.
Probably going to be playing Coordinated Strike next turn, so let's go ahead and put in a damage there. I actually don't kill this with Hand of Adal. Okay, this is fine. Turn 5 Juggler Coordinated Strike. It's pretty far off. Let's play this here, then maybe turn 4 Fel Guardians, turn 5 Blood Herald, turn 6 Skull. It's not, like, particularly good for any of those units, but maybe it ends up being a fine curve. Or maybe I Juggler Broomstick here.
Put this apple on your head.
Really bad juggle, but it's fine, I guess.
Give me that. Look what I want.
Well, I'm sure my opponent is not pure Paladin, but if they are, I think the Soul Fragments shut that deck off. I think. Well, probably just want to go ahead and play Fel Guardian so I can play Skull next turn. 6/6 Blood Herald is not incredible.
Demons.
Shoot the 2/2 since it can value trade. So yeah, definitely looking at turn 6 Skull, turn 7 Performers, then maybe turn 8 Blood Herald. This Blood Herald should be really big if it comes down after Performers. Okay, the Soul Fragments don't shut this off, it's no neutrals, not only Paladin cards.
Alas, poor warlock.
0 mana Wrathscale Naga is nice. Pretty good set of cards, honestly. I mean, I probably just play Naga with Performers next turn if my opponent's board is big. Nine health am I? No, 11 health on my opponent's board. 6 resets. I'm not really sure what's happening this turn, but I'm probably drawing a bunch of cards with Feast of Souls.
Serve your master.
I think I have plenty of mana for my Sea Giants. This Sea Giant is like -2 right now, right? So I should probably play this one first. I didn't actually count how many cards I'm drawing here, but there's no way it's too many. Now this Feast of Souls I probably don't cast. Alright, I think we're in a pretty good spot here. That turn was really disgusting. My opponent has played 3 Libram discounts. Okay. Opponent's at 19. So I just have lethal with Parade Leader, right?
These old bones just keep moving.
Nice. Not sure about the Warrior matchup. Seems like it could be difficult. I think I just play buffed Knife Juggler on turn 2. I don't need to try to save it as some sort of combo card. Could Coin Juggler here with this hand, actually. I think it's pretty good. We'll just play the aggro curve. Curve this into Umberwing and then maybe even Coordinated Strike. And that's 6 minions I'm playing in the first 3 turns. I might even be able to Feast of Soul on 4. That's a little bit optimistic, though. Speaking of optimistic turn 4 plays, Sea Giant. Rest in peace, Knife Juggler. Knife Juggler did 8 damage though, right? So, pretty good. So if my opponent kills a minion, this costs 6. They play a minion, it costs 5. So probably need my opponent to play 2 minions for Sea Giant to be playable here, unfortunately. Wisp, 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 wisp. Shit. Well, I guess I'll just draw 4 cards here. I mean, I guess I could just pass. And then next turn, maybe Sea Giants can come down. What am I hoping to hit with Feast of Souls? Another Umberwing. A Parade Leader. Really not much is playable here. I guess my opponent's pretty likely to have a Risky Skipper. But maybe I don't hate getting Risky Skipped this turn. What if I go Kane, trade? I have 4 minions in play. This probably kills Kane. I have 3. These cost 7. I don't know. It's probably better to play the 3/4 than nothing. Wow, dude, that's a lot of cards you just drew for 2 mana. I guess I will now draw 3 cards for 2 mana. It's like pretty likely my opponent has a skipper in hand after Ankar, so I don't think I can just tempo command the Illidari here. And Feast of Souls is better this turn than it was last turn, I guess, because I could play a 3 mana card. Well, they don't really have great 3 mana cards. Whatever, I'll play Juggler. This weapon's gonna kill something eventually. Yeah, my hand is looking kind of sketchy right now, but I guess depending on what happens, everything could just fall into place for like Command the Illidari double Sea Giant.
Someone's gotta lead the charge.
My opponent has 3 minions, this is 9 minions. So I can play a Sea Giant this turn, I believe. That's pretty good.
Serve your master.
Very sad watching this Sea Giant tick from 0 up to 7. But, we're putting fuel into the dragon. That's nice.
Do try to keep yourselves alive.
Alright, that's Barov down before my giant Blood Heralds, which I currently don't have in my hand, so...
Love the feel of wind in me sails. Pirates away!
Can I play expendable performers here? I probably can, right? And then, like, this thing just resets them. So we go expendable performers, trade 1 off, play Sea Giant.
Enjoy your final moments.
Yeah, this is cool, right? Might get brawled, which is a little bit annoying.
I'll show you who's boss.
Skipper number 2.
Drink your blood.
That's really ugly. Easy Skull of Gul'dan.
Warlock.
Parade Leader Broomstick. The Broomstick does 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How good is the Parade Leader at this point? I still have an Expendable Performers and a Coordinated Strike. I do have a Skull to draw into those. Maybe I just want to save Broomstick for the Dragon next turn. Yeah. I think the Broomstick and the Parade Leader, like, separately, each get better. So playing both of them here seems kind of bad.
Drink your blood. Eat your flesh.
Wait a second, 2 mana draw 3? That was my card. Very nice. I could play Parade Leader here just for tempo. Pretty sure the Crab Rider deck isn't playing Brawl.
Demons. Demons. These old bones just keep moving.
This is a cute little value trade that makes some sense. Let's just trade off the Yogg. All the other trades looked kind of bad since that thing had, what, 8 power? Wait, what the fuck? Am I dying?
Your flaws are your strength.
24 damage? Okay, yeah. Trade, punk. Holy shit, that was scary. I think I was dead to the other Enrage there, because it could have killed my taunt. I was not expecting the charge on the Crab Rider. Easy Skull of Gul'dan turn, though.
Alas, poor warlock.
Didn't hit any of my Parade Leader cards, which is unfortunate. But, let's play a nice Naga.
I will have vengeance.
This seems fine. Even if my opponent has some miracle board clear here, then my Blood Herald is pretty big next turn. Five mana, draw 2. So I believe, yes, my my draw cards ended up being better this game. Very nice. Alright, so I started out 4-2, then I changed some cards, and I ended up 6-3, so my changes were so good that they kept the exact same win rate. But I do think they were pretty good. The only thing I can maybe say that I didn't really necessarily love, well, there are a couple things. I don't know that Battle Fiend over Armor Vendor is necessarily like a strict upgrade, although I think it's probably better in the long run. And then the I-Beam I wasn't like super in love with, but it did seem pretty good. If you don't like the I-Beam, then it can be like another Command the Illidari, maybe a Twin Slice, it can be maybe an Armor Vendor. There are some options there. I did mention that maybe I didn't like the Sea Giants that much, but in these last couple of games the Sea Giants were pretty good, so they probably deserve their spot in the deck. At this point, I don't really have much else to say about the deck. So I thought with the upcoming expansion, maybe it would be interesting to just kind of adapt the deck for going forward. But then I started looking at what's going to happen with the rotation, and if I'm not mistaken, this deck loses both Sea Giants, Nethrandamus, and both Ratscale Nagas, which is just like, that's like all of our payoff cards, or like half of our payoff cards. And then on top of that, we're also losing the Jugglers, and the Command the Illidari, and we're also losing Umberwing. So like, we're losing a bunch of our token stuff as well. So, with this being the cards that we are left with, I think the archetype's gonna need some help. I don't really know if I can do anything with this. Like, maybe it ends up being a bit of a Death Rattle thing, because the early Death Rattle minions are kinda tokeny. But, yeah, I think this archetype might not be living much longer.